Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that.
See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Good evening, Boise State basketball fans, and welcome to ExtraMile Arena. I missed you guys. Been about a week since we've been on the air for BNN. Took some time off for Christmas, but we are back and ready to roll, and it is a big one for the Boise State men's basketball team tonight as they finish out the non-conference portion of their schedule hosting Utah Valley. How we doing? My name is BJ Rains. Welcome on in to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show here at ExtraMile Arena. Jay Tust, who will be on the call tonight. No analyst role for Jay Tust tonight. He is play-by-play on the call tonight for the Mountain West Network and streaming on Channel 7, or viewing on Channel 7 in Boise. So you want to watch the game tonight, you'll hear Jay Tust on the call. He is running a few minutes behind. He is going to join us here shortly. We're going to have Abe Jackson, color analyst for the radio team, joining us shortly as well. And then John Mallory going to join us. So a full show, live interviews. And like I said, we've been off the air for about a week or so, but we are back, and we're going to have an extended hour-long version of the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show here as we get you set for Boise State and Utah Valley. Big one for Boise State tonight. Again, they're coming off that loss before Christmas to Washington State. You see a live look at warmups here. Andrew Meadow, Chabuzo Abo, and now Tyson Degenhart making his way onto the court for the Broncos. Boise State, again, 8-4 final non-conference game. They're sitting at number 70 at Ken Palm. They really could use a nice performance tonight. The Ken Palm number has Boise State winning by 12 points. So ideally, you'd get this thing over 20 somehow. But Utah Valley is not a bad team. You got to win by at least 12 for the computer metrics, which makes a game like this tough. But certainly this is a game you'd like to see Boise State take care of business, win big, get the mojo going. But sometimes those first games after the Christmas break are a little weird because the players got 4 days to go home and see their families. They come back for a couple of days of practice, and they're right back at it here at ExtraMile Arena. Get your score predictions in, your comments. Let us know what you're thinking on this one. Boise State, Utah Valley, score predictions, players of the game. If you're watching us on Facebook or on Twitter, we ask you to please switch over to YouTube. We are on the ICCU YouTube chat taking your comments. Folks are chatting in there together. We back, baby. Dennis says, go Broncos. Alexandra's ready to see the super team. Waiting for it. Maybe tonight's the night. Says, go Broncos. Chad says, don't underestimate Utah Valley. No, not at all. Utah Valley, again, comes in at 179 in the metrics. They have lost 3 in a row, but those were their last 2 were to Utah, who's 31st, and Liberty, who is 56. Now, they did lose a road game to Utah Tech, a big rival there of theirs. That was a bad loss, 255 at Ken Palm are the numbers there. Their best win is over number 99, Weber State. They've also beaten Seattle, who's 115th. But then they have Western Colorado, who's unranked, Southern Miss, who's 239, and Sam Houston State, who is 212. Utah Valley 6-6 on the season. And the scouting report on them is they don't do anything super great, but they're decent in a lot of things. So it's not like, oh, we just got to take away the rebounding, or oh, got to take away the 3-point shooting. They're not like super amazing in any category, but they're all around, can just do some things that could hurt you on any given night. So if you're having any other problems hearing me, please let me know. We will get to your comments, your questions here. Again, Jay Tust going to join us momentarily. He is on the call tonight on the Mountain West Network and on KTVB. As you see Boise State out there, Andrew Meadow. You see Chibuzo Abo over in the corner getting some shots up. Andrew Meadow at the top of the key. And there's Tyson Degenhart there in the key working on some shots. Max Rice has made his way onto the court. And that's going to be a huge key for Boise State, is those guys right there that you see in the center of the court. Max Rice and Tyson Degenhart. Those guys were 5 of 25 combined. One of, if not the worst game combined in their careers on the same night. You had one go 2 for 12 and one go 3 for 13, and they ended up 5 of 25 in that loss to Washington State, and that certainly is a game that's going to maybe, the one they would have liked to have had. Not a bad loss, but a game they would have liked to have had. I'll be interested to see what happens tonight at Utah. Washington State is at Utah tonight as they open up Pac-12 play. So we'll see how things go with Washington State this season, but I do think that is a game that would have been nice to have for Boise State. So I think they're one under where they would have liked to have been. I think if you could have finished the non-con portion of your schedule 10-3, you really would have felt really, really good about things. You win tonight, you're 9-4. So I think you're, a lot of the other fan bases, a lot of the computer metrics. I mean, let's face it, Boise State is not where they want to be right now in a lot of the computer rankings. They're not in the NCAA tournament projection fields, and in a lot of cases, they're not even on the bubble right now. They've got a lot of work to do. But I think the way the schedule's set up for them in the non-conference, if they can take care of business in conference play, that strength of schedule is certainly going to help them out. They have won, I believe, 20 home games in a row. They have the school record. They'll go for 21 tonight. And then certainly number 22 would be a massive one against Colorado State coming up in a couple of weeks. And like I said, you're going to have a lot of opportunities. You look at Boise State's conference schedule here. They've got the game tonight against Utah Valley. Then they go on the road next Friday to San Jose State in a road game. They lost at San Jose State last year. You have to feel pretty good about them bouncing back and winning that game on the road next Friday. But then you go Colorado State at home, Nevada on the road, UNLV at home, San Diego State at home. I mean, those 4 right out of the gate, Colorado State, Nevada, San Diego State, 3 out of 4 games. You got Utah State at home on the 27th as well. There's a lot of good quality games, a lot of quad 1 opportunities, a lot of metric boosting games on Boise State's schedule. So sure, Boise State is not where they want to be, but the rest of the Mountain West is doing so well. So I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Boise State to get wins. They're going to help improve those computer metrics. So tonight, you obviously just need to win the game. Bottom line, this is a must-win game. You cannot lose to Utah Valley and expect to, do some things and make the NCAA tournament probably in terms of the at-large case, unless you were to go undefeated in conference play or something. I mean, I think we're safe saying they have not had the quote-unquote bad loss yet, but that could be coming. And so I think with a game like this, so that's the one positive on Boise State's resume. They do not have the bad loss. And so when you talk about NCAA tournament projections and things like that, I saw somebody say it. They said you can eliminate yourself with a bad loss a lot earlier than you can help yourself, get in with the quality wins. So on the negative side, Boise State has not hurt themselves. They have not lost to a bad team. But they've got to start racking up some more of the good wins here moving forward. And tonight's a game where you just have to find a way to win. As I said, the computer metrics say this is a 12-point game. In a perfect world, you find a way to win this one by at least 20 and take a nice step up in the computer metrics and feel good going into a week of practice before that San Jose game. But the bottom line tonight is you just have to win this game. You cannot lose this game and all of a sudden be in a position where, finally that bad loss would be on your resume, and that would really hurt things in terms of the overall schedule and conference play moving forward. I mean, the bottom line is you're in the Mountain West, like, maybe 9 losses, maybe 10 losses gets you in. If you have a really good strength of schedule and you have some good wins and quad 1 wins, maybe 10 losses overall would get you, but you're already at 4. So you're talking 6 losses, and that'd be 5 in conference play, 1 in the conference tournament would put you at 10. So, I mean, Boise State, again, I still think they have can go on a roll and can win some of these games, but they certainly have put themselves a little behind the eight ball in terms of some of these games that they've been unable to win down in the tournament in Orlando, or certainly that Washington State game the other night. So, again, you're hoping that this guy you see right here in the bottom corner of the screen, Tyson Degenhart, you're hoping that he can get going tonight. Max Rice needs to get back on track after struggling against Washington State. And obviously a tough one for both those guys. Going back home, wanting to get to 1,000 career points, which could happen tonight. Both those guys are within 15 points of 1,000 for their careers. So we'll see if both those guys can do that and get to 1,000 points. You see Andrew Meadow there out pretty early, getting a lot of shots up. Wonder if he's going to be a factor in this one tonight. Again, Utah Valley comes in 6-6 on this season. And you got some big games in college basketball tonight, by the way. We'll get to those in a second. I'm checking the YouTube chat here. Get your score predictions in. Get your thoughts in. We got a $20 gift card to Taco Bell for whoever comes closest to our score prediction tonight. We are in the ICCU YouTube chat, and I mentioned Taco Bell, our gift card. We appreciate Taco Bell. Get out there and get some dinner on the way to the game. Get some breakfast tomorrow morning. TacoBellWorks.com. You can get more information if you're looking for a job. They are hiring, and they'll give you half your wages the very next day after your shift. So looking for some fast, quick cash, you need a job, check out TacoBellWorks.com. And again, the Treasure Valley freestanding Taco Bell stores, the Nicolason family, SON Management. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. They've stepped up as a major sponsor, so please return the favor and go check out Taco Bell next time you're looking for a meal with the family. You see Tyson Degenhart here shooting from the corner. Derek chimes in with our first pregame prediction of the night. 72-57 is what he's going with there. 72-57, Derek. We're going to have a cool announcement, by the way. I am headed to Las Vegas for the weekend. I'll be staying at our sponsor, Circa Sports, and we'll be doing our broadcast live on Tuesday from Stadium Swim. Stadium Swim live on Tuesday, January 2nd for our broadcast, and we'll be making the much-anticipated live announcement with details on our pool party for the Mountain West tournament. It is happening on the Friday of the conference tournament week. I also have a link for 15% off. If you are wanting to go to the Mountain West tournament and stay at either Circa or the D. Circa, the average night for the Mountain West tournament is around $200. At the D, it's about $88. Circa is certainly worth every penny if you can afford it. It's brand new, touchscreen appliances and lighting in the room and things. Awesome spot. Highly recommend Circa. The Stadium Swim pool is amazing. The sports book, the largest sports book in the world. If you're looking for a little more affordable, cheaper spot, you don't care if the room's not as nice, you just want to have a spot to shower and sleep, highly recommend the D Las Vegas. That's about $88 a night for the Mountain West tournament on the average of the 4 nights if you use our link. So I have a 15% off link. And if you email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, I'm going to send it to you. And we're going to have Jaden start including the links in the daily emails also next week after we make the official announcement about the contest. But 15% off at Circa or the D using our link at 15% off for the Mountain West tournament. And email me, rains@bronconationnews.com, and I will send you the link. And I hope you'll stay there. If you don't stay there, you want to stay somewhere else, that's fine. We hope you will make plans for the Friday of the Mountain West tournament, semifinal Friday, starting at 9 a.m. We'll be there 9 to 4, I believe, for the Mountain West tournament pool party. Again, more details to come on Tuesday when we do our live show from Stadium Swim. But make plans to join us on the Friday of Mountain West tournament week out at the pool, and we'll have some cool announcements coming up for that. Let's see what else. We got a lot of comments coming in. Again, your thoughts, we'd love to have them. How you feeling about this game? Who's going to be the breakout player? Where are you at on this season? How worried are you about Boise State's chances of the tournament? What do they need to do here in conference play? And maybe more importantly, what do they need to do tonight to find a way to stay on track as they get set the final game of 2023 and the final non-conference game as they get set to start conference play. They will have the first bye, which kind of stinks, to be honest with you, for Boise State. You'd love to have a little more breaks in the middle of the season. Boise State has the first bye, so they're off until Friday. The rest of the Mountain West has conference games Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday next week. Boise State will not play until Friday at San Jose State. Let's do this. Let's take our first 90-second timeout. Thanks some of our great sponsors. Run and grab another Cutwater if you'd like to do that, or listen to our messages about our sponsors. I'm going to take a quick 90-second timeout. Jay Tust going to join us, and we'll continue to get you set for the pregame show here. Boise State Utah Valley, big one coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're back in 90 seconds here on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show from the Cutwater Studios on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. Back live on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show from the Cutwater Studios. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com. They're big supporters of Boise State Athletics. They're big supporters of Bronco Nation News. And Andy Rowe and company, we appreciate them. If all your painting needs, whether it's interior, exterior of your home, whether it's commercial, residential, industrial painting, they can take care of you. And, of course, the concrete coatings, the Rains family has had it done in our garage and on our back patio. So we highly recommend rowpaint.com, the concrete coatings, and all of their services. So for all your painting needs, make sure you check them out, rowpaint.com. Jay Tust still caught in a little bit of traffic, so he may not be able to join us. We'll see how much time he has when he gets over here. We have Abe Jackson coming up in about 10 minutes. We got John Mallory coming up after that. Lots of live interviews, lots of live analysis as we get you set for this one. Again, BJ Rains with you. We are live at ExtraMile Arena. We got Jaden Finch here as well. Going to have some video highlights and things on the post-game show. But you don't need to see me. You'd rather watch the warm-ups there. So there you go. Live look at warm-ups. Boise State on the court. You see Cade Rice here over in the corner. We'll get to some of your comments. Again, get your thoughts, your score predictions. Where are you at on this season? Where are you at on this game tonight? Any outlandish, crazy opinions for the game tonight? Let us know, and we will get to those in the ICCU YouTube chat. I did want to give a shout-out to our title sponsor of the pre- and post-game shows, Lithia Florida Boise, Jim Sturk and company. I've been having a little bit of difficulty with my truck lately, but they took it in there. They figured out the problem. They let me borrow a vehicle. It's been in there twice. First time they let me borrow a vehicle. Second time they picked me up twice. Picked me up to drop the car, gave me a ride home, and then picked me up to come back and get the vehicle. So the customer service, outstanding at Lithia Florida Boise. They'll pick you up if you need a ride, or they'll order a lift for you. They'll take care of you. They'll give you the best price they can. And whether it's on the service department, even if you did not purchase from them, you can have your vehicle serviced at Lithia Florida Boise. But if you're looking for a new vehicle, highly recommend Lithia Florida Boise. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view that full inventory of vehicles. And again, I know they're a sponsor of mine, but I am a customer of theirs, purchased a vehicle from them, and have used the service department and things, and I highly recommend their staff over there. Kyle in the service department does an outstanding job, and they take care of you. And I highly recommend it. A lot of the vehicles you're seeing driven by coaches, athletic directors, et cetera, at Boise State come from Lithia Ford, and they're taking care of the Broncos. They can take care of you as well at LithiaFordBoise.com. Randall says, hurts my soul to say this, but we need the Aztecs to win at Gonzaga tonight. Why does it hurt your soul? It's a Mountain West game. Yeah, you want to root for the Mountain West in that one. What's wrong with that, Randall? That makes sense. That is certainly something that probably would help Boise State. Certainly would. I know you were also, Randall, talking about the Mountain West Conference getting the same level of respect that the Power Fives do. which they have in the past, but I don't think they'll put in more than 5 teams. Yeah, I think 4 is going to happen. I think 5 is possible, but you're not getting 6 teams in from the Mountain West. Just not happening. So if Boise State wants to move from the 6th spot where they currently are to higher up in the standings, you just got to win games in conference play. I mean, that's why I kind of like, everyone wants to write them off and where's this super team and another at-large bid gone. Like, if you win the Mountain West, you're getting into the tournament. Like, if you finish 2nd or 3rd in the Mountain West, you're getting into the tournament. So all this notion that like the Washington State game already knocked them out of at-large consideration, 4 losses, like, no, like, not to say that non-conference play didn't matter, but like I said before, you win this game tonight, you kind of held serve in non-conference play. You don't have any, amazing, great wins. I mean, St. Mary's is a nice one. You would have liked 1 or 2 more on the Clemson tournament, but you also don't have any, horrible losses, so to speak, when it comes to, the resume. So if you can, the slate becomes clean starting next week. You can start over. We'll talk about that more on the post-game show, but really for Boise State, if you're able to just win this game tonight, then you kind of start over and you take care of conference play, and I think you're going to be in an okay spot. So I'm not super concerned. And yes, I am a half glass full, half full glass, or however you phrase it. Been a long day, but I am always a positive guy when it comes to the basketball program. I'm not going to deny that, but I still, I track the metrics. I track this stuff, and I still think they're in an okay spot. Are they in a good spot? No, I'm not. I think you'd be fooling yourself to say that. They're not in a good spot, but they're not in a bad spot either. They got some work to do, but they're certainly more than capable of doing that. And you win that game tonight, and then you take care of business early in conference play. You beat San Jose, and then you turn around and beat Colorado State and at home and get a win over a top 15 ranked team, and all of a sudden you're rolling. You're back in business if you beat Colorado State. So a lot on the line the next couple of weeks here. And again, the main thing tonight is you just cannot avoid that bad loss, as I was talking about. Derek says the beauty of college basketball, having to root for your conference rivals in non-con just matters way more than in football. Yes, it does. 8 quad 1 opportunities coming, Derek says. Probably need to win 4 of those. A few will be at home. Got time to make it happen. That Colorado State game at home is a massive game. If you're able to beat Colorado State at home, you're all of a sudden, like I said, just kind of that sends the message to some people like, oh, okay, Boise State, yeah, they're still here. They're still a factor here. I mean, that's going to certainly be a situation where you win that game. I think you're going to get some heads to start turning and things and go, okay, Boise State, all right, yeah, that's you know what? That'll work. They're still in this. So, I think that it's a big game coming up. But again, you win this game tonight, you're let's see, what would that make you? 9-4 in non-conference play. Not great, but again, with the schedule they've played, not terrible either to be 9-4, and you have some quality wins. That St. Mary's win is going to go a long way for you. They're 49th. VCU is 88th. North Texas 81st. San Francisco is up to 52 at KenPom. So you've got 2 wins in the top 52 of the KenPom rankings. You've got 4 top 100 wins. So, and again, your worst loss, your quote unquote worst loss, is to number 64 at KenPom, Washington State. So I think Boise State is in a pretty good spot, and they just have to keep winning. Now you got to start winning, and again, I think that starts with Utah Valley tonight. Again, the KenPom number is 12. Got to win this game by at least 12 for the computer numbers. Bottom line is you just got to win. But if you have your way, you'd like to win by at least 12. And if you can win at, win by 20, that would obviously be ideal. You would find a way to win this game by 20. That would be huge for Boise State if they're able to find a way to do that. Abe Jackson making his way over. Let's take our second timeout real quick. Abe Jackson and John Mallory's here as well. They're both showing up at the same time. So Abe Jackson going to join us. Don't go anywhere. Back in 90 seconds. Get those projections in. Abe joins us live on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from the Cutwater Studios on Bronco Nation News. Don't go anywhere. Back in 90 seconds. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON Management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON Management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State Athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at TacoBellWorks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State Athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. Back alive here at Lithia Ford, a Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News. We are here talking Boise State basketball, and I'm pleased to be joined by our man, Abe Jackson. He's putting the headset on. We're getting ready to roll. And, Abe, appreciate you for jumping on, man. How we doing?
Yeah, things are good. Glad to be back. Back with basketball season. Had some good holidays. You went to spend some time in St. Louis, right?
Yeah, it was fun hanging out. We got delayed about, 4 hours? That wasn't quite that bad. 3 hours. We were delayed at the Spokane Airport, man. It was good to catch up and talk life.
That just happens. That happens around this time. But, yeah, it was good. Things are good.
What do you make of this team, man? A week off, they had the holiday break. All the players kind of dispersed for the holidays. Now they're back. What do you make of this team and where they're at right now?
Well, the Washington State game was interesting. I mean, it'd been a while since Boise State had played any type of team that had a big presence inside. It seemed like it was a lot of teams with pressure around the guards. North Texas comes to mind. Fullerton with some pressure as well around the guards. But they affected the Broncos. I mean, the big guys inside, they did. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Tyson had a rough night. Max had a rough night. Buzo really didn't get hardly any shots up in the second half. So it was a rough game to lose because you didn't play well, but you were also right there to try and tie the game with one of the shots from Max.
Yeah, you're not going to win many games when your two stars go 5 of 25.
No,
Max
it's
and
tough.
Tyson.
Yep, it's tough. It's tough inside, and it's you like Tyson taking it in there for sure, and I wouldn't want him to do anything different, but it's just hard. You got a 6'9" guy with length and then a 6'11" guy with length in there. It's tough to score over the top.
What do you make, just again, 8-4? That was the first game I think you really would have liked to have had. That was a winnable game right there, but certainly not a quote-unquote bad loss by any means.
Right.
But just the game tonight, and I guess what the way the non-conference is finishing up, I mean, they're still clearly sixth probably in terms of the pecking order right now of the metrics and of the Mountain West. 6 teams are not getting in from the tournament. There was, as expected, some of the negative Nancy's were out, saying that the season's over after the loss to Washington State and all this. I know it's a long season.
How do you handle that? I mean, how does that?
Not good enough.
That has to just be just like a drill in your head. Hearing some of those comments, man, it's like, come on.
I've actually used the mute button and the block button more this year than I've used in a long time, to be honest with you. But big picture, 8-4, where this team is at, trying to win tonight and then go into conference play, and with how good this Mountain West is. Just where are you right now on this team?
Well, I think right now, the way they're playing, I think they're probably picked pretty accurately. I really do. That's about where they've been. I mean, they've scheduled tough, but they haven't really won the tough games. They did get St. Mary's, and that's looking like a better and better win, that's for sure. But a good thing is that they don't have any bad losses. It's so if you look at their record, you can't really ever say, well, yeah, but they really didn't take care of business on that night. And that's kind of what tonight is. It's a game you should win. You're on your home court against a team that's at 500 in a conference that's worse than yours. You should beat this team, and you should beat them pretty handily. So hopefully the Broncos can do that and get to conference without one of those bad losses on the resume.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the Ken Pom projection has this as a 12-point win. I think the Vegas spread is 11. You'd like to win this game by 20-plus if you can find a way to blow them out and really help the numbers. But the way this is, we've talked about this, but they really have to win by at least 12. But the bottom line is you have to just win. You want to help the numbers if you can. You want to improve things. But as you said, and as I said before you came on, their worst loss right now is number 64 at Ken Pom, Washington State. Right. Last year they had South Dakota State. They had Bakersfield. The year before that, they had Irvine, Charlotte. We talked about this, but again, at some point you have to win some games. But as I said earlier on the show, I don't remember who said it on Twitter, but they said you can eliminate yourself a lot earlier with a bad loss than you can put yourself in with a good win. So they have not eliminated themselves with any horrible loss at this point.
And what's nice, too, is that the Mountain West isn't like the WCC, right? There's a couple good teams, and then it just falls way off, and then you have some really, really bad teams in that conference, so you might not be able to jump up. The Mountain West has 6, 7 really good teams, so if you want to get those big-time wins, they're going to be sitting there in conference staring you right in the face. When San Diego State comes in here, maybe you get a win at San Diego State or at Colorado State. Those can be just as helpful as maybe pulling off a win earlier in the season if you had to beat Virginia Tech, because they might not even be ranked as high as some of the teams in the Mountain West. So the conference is so strong. You get through tonight, no bad losses, get some momentum going, and then head on to San Jose and get a win there, which should be a win at San Jose State this year, but that's been a tough place to play. It is about the most basketball environment that you can get.
And I think after what happened, we'll talk about this next week, but I think with what happened last year losing there, that ain't happening again.
I don't think. Well, and they also don't have Omari Moore, who is probably one of the most athletic dudes we've seen in the Mountain West in a long time.
Speaking of athletic dudes, Omar Stanley, what he did against Washington State, I know they lost the game, obviously, but for him to go 23 points on 9 of 14 shooting, fouled out on a really tough fifth foul there.
That was rough.
Trying to put it lightly. But
not rough that he shouldn't have fouled, but it was a rough call that he got.
Yes, exactly. But for him to have 23 points, I think he had 6 rebounds, 4 were offensive. Not to say he's going to have 23 a night, but he was wanting the ball down in the post and was taking over there. What do you make? I mean, that was a really encouraging sign. There's not going to be a lot of Mountain West big men that he's not going to be able to maybe have some success against.
No, and what I like is that he's shown it face up. I mean, we've seen a lot of back-to-the-basket moves from big guys. I mean, Tyson's a back-to-the-basket type guy. Cam Martin does back-to-the-basket moves, but Omar Stanley, most of his buckets came from free throw line extended face up, 1 or 2 hard dribbles, and then just power into the hoop or spin through your guy. I mean, I think he has shown his versatility, and I honestly, from what I heard, I think I was a little undersold on what his offensive capabilities were coming in. We heard all about Roddy Anderson and his scoring, heard all about Cam Martin and his scoring through his college career. We didn't hear a lot about Omar Stanley's scoring, but he's really going to be somebody I think that the Broncos lean on to open up for some of those shooters, that you get a guy who can get the ball inside and finish like that. You're going to have to collapse sometimes and it'll open shooters. And now he just has to be able to recognize some double teams if they come, because they're going to come, and kick them out to shooters.
Just don't need Omar shooting the 3 ball. Let the other guys do that.
I mean, you can shoot a couple threes.
I know.
I don't mind.
Early in the game, I don't know if that's a great. But I mean, I was super impressed with what he did. And now Cam Martin, is not. We saw in that game a lot of they're playing together a lot. We have that bigger lineup with Tyson also in there. Roddy Anderson, I mean, somebody mentioned it, we were 1 foul call on Roddy Anderson away from winning that game. That was a tough call as well, or non-call, I guess. But early in the game especially, Roddy Anderson was getting to the rack and was making some really nice, impressive layups. He continues at times to show some really impressive flashes here. The game appears to be slowing down. He appears to be looking more like the player we saw last year at UC San Diego.
Well, you know who he reminds me of is Chibuzo Wabo last year. And you take a look at Buzo's first 4 to 6 games last year, he was nothing what he was the player later on in the season. And that's kind of what it takes sometimes for transfers is to get their feet wet and really adjust to the speed of the game and adjust to what the coaches are wanting them to do. And you could see that with Anderson this year, is that earlier on, he didn't really look comfortable at all. And he looks very comfortable now. His decisions are there. And what I like, it's a little thing, but now he's penetrating, but he's keeping his dribble alive if nothing's there. And that is such a big key to do, because if you're a point guard and you penetrate and then there's nothing there and you pick the ball up, you're done. But he's been going in, keeping the ball alive and just bringing it out. That's a small thing, but it means such a big difference when you're trying to run your offense.
We've talked so much about the depth of this team, but I mean, that game in particular, we really haven't seen a lot of it of late in terms of the production. What do guys like Meadow and Keene and some of these guys coming off the bench need to do to, they're not necessarily hurting them when they're out there, but they're not really providing the a little more of a boost. They're just kind of taking up 3 minutes while the guy gets a breather. I'd like to see a little more scoring output from some of these guys coming off the bench.
You'd like to see it, but also that's sometimes all you need to ask those guys to do is that if you have your scorers, and there's some scorers now, if Stanley continues on this run, then you add even a 4th guy who can give you some really solid scoring, and a 5th, if you throw Anderson in there as well. So you don't really need a Keene or a Young or a Meadow to come in and say, okay, we want you we want you to go and knock down some threes, and we need you to drive to the hoop and create offense. Sometimes it's just play good defense, rebound the ball, do your assignments. Okay, there was some 3-4 minute stretch right there. Get the other guys back in.
What do you make of the Mountain West, by the way? You got San Diego State playing Gonzaga tonight. Colorado State was picked 4th or 5th in the preseason. They're, maybe going to come in as a top 10 team here in a couple of weeks. This league, as we get ready for conference play to start next week, what do you make of it?
It's really good. It's really good. It's really guard heavy. That's kind of interesting. We've seen some years where it's been the 4 and 5 men. It was a while ago, but I remember it was the year, I think, when the Mountain West got 5 or 6 teams in. Colorado State had massive dudes. New Mexico had 2 big guys. San Diego State had some big guys. But this year, it is all guard. You could make a first team and probably an extra couple guys on just guards in the Mountain West. I don't know how good that is for the Broncos this year, seeing that we haven't really been able to penetrate too much against guards. But, we'll see. It's a good conference, and that'll help the Broncos out if you're looking for those big wins.
All right, we'll finish up. Final non-conference game tonight. Winter break, so not going to have a lot of students tonight. Not sure what the overall crowd will be, but how do you kind of create that energy coming off the Christmas break? Sometimes that first game back, guys are still trying to get back in the flow of things. What do you make of just the atmosphere and the challenge the Broncos have tonight coming off the Christmas break?
There's certain games and there's certain atmospheres where you rely on your coaches and you rely on your seniors or your upperclassmen. And this is one of those games coming off a Christmas break. You're right. The crowd, not really sure what it's going to be. There are some people in the balcony, but people have been up there almost every game now. So, but there's games like this where you do have to rely on that internal energy. Sometimes it comes at tournaments where there could be 200 people in the stands. Internal energy is what you have to bring. So I think the coaching staff, upperclassmen, and I like the Broncos when you talk about those two things.
And again, Utah Valley 6-6. What are the challenges they present tonight, and what do the Broncos need to do to get a win?
Well, they have all brand new faces. I mean, they had 28 wins last year. Mark Madsen was their coach, the old Stanford guy. Mad Dog went to the Lakers, and now he's coaching at Cal. So he took a bunch of guys with him, all new faces pretty much for Utah Valley. So they're 6-6, just a classic 500 team. They shoot about what they give up. They rebound about the same as they give up on boards. Same with threes and free throws. So the Broncos should handle them. I mean, this would definitely fall into the bad loss, but I think the Broncos will get them.
Again, it's not the final score that matters. I mean, it's not the win; it's the final score. You gotta handle them easily. Like I said, 20 points is what I want for the numbers here. Win by 20. Find a way to win by 20.
Oh, and I just saw it was a Devo Bronc.
Yeah.
Just capital Abe, capital ABE.
Yeah, they're loving you, man.
Let's go.
They're loving you. They're loving you, man. Appreciate you as always for coming on, man. And we'll be listening coming up here in about 18 minutes. Again, we got dueling. We got dueling things going on here. We got Jay Tust and Brian King over on KTVB. We got you and Abe over there on the radio side on KBOI. So hopefully folks can turn it down, rotate it back and forth, whatever they got to do. But I know you and Abe, pregame show at 6:30, game broadcast just after 7 o'clock on 670 KBOI. Appreciate you as always, Abe.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yep.
There he is, Abe Jackson. Appreciate him for joining us. Again, Boise State getting set. Utah Valley, final non-conference game of the season. We're going to take our quick final timeout, a 1-minute break, a short 60-second break, and then John Mallory is going to slide over and give us his thoughts on this one. Don't go anywhere. Keep getting your score predictions in, your thoughts, your player of the game. Give us all your goods in the ICCU YouTube chat, and we'll get to it here in 60 seconds on Bronco Nation News. You looking for a new job? Well, how about getting into the trucking industry? Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, all the paperwork, all the things you need. Let them help you out. Transcomservice.com. They'll have you out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. The pounds continue to fall off, and it's thanks to Dave and our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Full customizable meal prep. You want to go into the store, pick out your meals individually, that's great. It's right there on Eagle Road in Meridian. Or you can do it all online at leanfeast.com/Meridian, and they'll deliver it to you. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart, and more. Check them out, Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Still time to get that fall round of golf in, and you need to do it at Timberstone Golf Course out in Caldwell. Book a tee time at playtimberstone.com. The best greens in the valley, new technology, new golf carts, friendly environment, fun, challenging course. Check them out, Timberstone Golf Course. Book your tee time today, and I'll see you out there. Playtimberstone.com. John Mallory just commenting out it's still golf season, huh?
Oh, yeah, you guys, get that final fall round of golf in, Timberstone.
How you doing, man? You have a good Christmas, man? Good. Yeah, we haven't heard you on the air. You guys took a couple days off on Thursday and Friday. I joined you on Wednesday, but how was the Christmas break, man?
It was relaxing. Got some stuff done, celebrated, ate well, had fun, relaxed. You know, kind of everything you want. Checked off a lot of boxes. This will be my final time on BNN. I have a surprise.
Of 2023?
Yeah, dang it, of 2023. This is my final contractual appearance.
It is.
Next time I come on, it will be under our new contract, which is still in heavy, serious, positive negotiations. But I hope to see you guys for the next edition of Ball Talk. But nonetheless, thanks for having me on. Big night for hoops in Boise, BJ.
It is, man. It is. But I'm glad you. Oh, the band's even here. I didn't know on winter break if the band was going to be here, but they are here.
That's solid.
What do you make, man? This team is 8-4. Obviously, they the tough one against Washington State. Didn't get a foul call at the end of the game. Max and Tyson obviously really struggled from the field. But overall, where are you at with this team right now?
I was thinking about this, BJ, and let's just say, okay, they're 8-4. Win tonight, you're 9-4. Identical conference or non-con to last year, right? They were 9-4 last year, correct? You've been saying that a bunch, so it'd be like the same thing. Here's where I am. If they were 10-2 right now rather than 8-4, I'd still say you're going to have to go 13-5 in the Mountain West to feel good about punching your ticket to the tournament. And that's what it is for this team. Get to the tournament. That is the goal, BJ. Yeah. So if it was a win here or a loss there, I think the main point of contention with this fan base is the eye test. I think they wanted it to look better. Like, I think they wanted it to gel, to fit, to sink more.
That's fair.
And it just hasn't. I think that's why you spend countless number of hours getting into arguments with these people. And I love it. I'm up there. I'm scrolling just like everybody else, BJ. But, yeah, it wouldn't matter is all I'm saying. You have to win 13, maybe 12-6, get you in, and then you're going to have to do a little bit of damage in Vegas for the conference tournament. You know, I know this is the final non-con game, but I can't get out of the Mountain West picture and what's coming. Like, they better stinking win this over a 6-6 Utah Valley team. This should be a cakewalk, and I think it will be, BJ. But then you get into a Mountain West, and it doesn't matter what your non-con was, ranks, or record. You have to win probably 13 games. You got to be 13-5 and then go to Vegas, BJ, and hope you win in the first round, and then you're in again.
Yeah. No, and I was saying, I do agree with you, but you look at last year, they lost to they had some bad losses last year. South Dakota State, 174. Charlotte was 106. You go to the year before that, 2022, when they won the Mountain West, they lost to Cal State Bakersfield. It was 276. Yeah. They lost to UC Irvine, 133. I mean, you look right now, their worst loss is number 64, Washington State. All their losses are so they've avoided the bad loss, which is what you have to do tonight. Avoid the bad loss, and then you just have to find a way to pick up some of these wins. I mean, you go win at San Jose, you got probably a sellout for Colorado State in 10 days or whatever it would be.
Oh, that's going to be sweet.
And you win that game, all of a sudden you're like, people are going to go, okay, all right, Boise's still.
Do you put Buzo on Stevens?
He's pretty quick. Stevens is pretty quick. I don't know.
Man, Buzo's physical, though.
Maybe
I want to
so.
talk to some of the coaches about that. I like that
I don't know
matchup.
about that.
But you need Buzo to defend other players on Colorado State.
Yeah.
I don't know what Colorado State's going to do. I'm sorry, what Boise State's going to do on the Stevens kid. And that's like 10 days away. But, man, it's going to be a fun conference season. And, yeah, regardless of what their record was here or there, they have to do well in conference. But there is some fairness to the fact that we thought this was going to look better.
I agree.
Than it has.
I agree. No doubt about it. But yeah, you want it to look a little better. But like I said, you've avoided the bad loss. You win this game tonight. You're 9-4. You kind of start over, and like you said, you go 13-5. I mean, is a 10-loss team in the tournament from the Mountain West?
Maybe. I mean, if you go 13-5 in a really
one
good
game
league,
and lose in the finals or semifinals of the conference tournament.
4 losses right now. So you do the math. They go 13-5. That's 9 losses going into Vegas. So you're probably going to have 1 loss there, and your resume sits.
You're 23-10 or something.
Yes. You're like 23-10, And that will come with, where are the wins? Dude, if you're going to go 13-5 in this league, you'll have 4, 5, 6 really good BJ Rains, Ken Palm.
Quad 1 wins.
Yeah, quad 1 wins. I'm waiting for the BJ Palm.
Hey,
and
they got the Joel Palms out there already.
I want you to factor in stuff that's important to you and come out with the BJ rankings.
All right,
but,
we'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be right there. But that's what it's going to take. And if you can go 14-4 in this league, you're probably in the dance, regardless of what you do in the tournament. But I don't know if a team will go 14-4 in this league. There's some teams, BJ, we don't know how foolish their gold might be, right? An easy peasy non-con, and they looked good doing it. We'll see when push comes to shove in some of these big-time conference matchups. Hopefully Boise State can just dodge what would be a massive New Year's buzzkill.
Yep.
Win this, get to 9-4, and get to a very, very competitive league.
Yeah, and you'd like to win this game by pretty handily and help the computer metrics a little bit.
Give me the update on that.
The Ken Palm projection is a 12-point win.
Okay.
The Vegas spread is 11. So you'd like, like you said, the big goal, like I said earlier, is just win the game. Find a way to just win the game. But if you could win it by 20 or something and blow them out, it would certainly help the computer numbers. What do you make tonight's play-by-play debut on Channel 7 KTVB? Jay Tust.
Is this on the Big 7?
KTVB, the Big 7. Jay Tust and Brian King on the call tonight.
We know Jay. No one's more prepared, but also no one gets more nervous.
He was supposed to come on with me at 5:30.
No one gets more nervous. He's sweating right now.
Yeah.
He's probably over prepared, but he's going to kill it. Brian King's a pro too. This will be a fun.
And they've done the games together for the C of I and NU Mayor's Cup games. He's done some games. But his first Boise State game doing play-by-play. Do we get a boom on a three-pointer tonight?
Absolutely. Hopefully,
better.
Do you save the boom? I mean, you can't.
He's doing the Colorado State game also in 2 weeks. That would be a big one.
I mean, would boom be his 3-point call after every 3-pointer's made?
It should be. I think it should be. That's Marv Albert had yes.
Yeah.
All these guys had. What are some of the other famous ones?
I don't know who I stole this from, but
who was Bang? That was that's Mike Breen, right? Bang. That's Mike Breen. So I think the boom would be Jay Tust.
I stole from somebody, but I would say, got it. Here's the 3. Got it.
Oh, that's what you did on the call?
Yeah, that was my. That went way,
when it was a bigger crowd and a bigger game, did you get more amped up on the play-by-play?
Yeah, you have to. Oh, absolutely. You feel it, no question. Because, dude, I was doing WAC women's basketball. BJ, 87
So the person in the last row could hear you broadcasting the game.
One girl one time on the free throw line looked over, a vandal, and said, "Ball game, quiet down," because I was talking about it when she was at the line. That was at the Save Mart Center in Fresno. It was so empty. So I can appreciate a crowd, man, because I felt I was broadcasting to all 127 people. Quick story about Tust.
You didn't have color, by the way, right? You did it yourself?
Yeah, just solo.
All right.
Which is fine for basketball.
We're getting a menu for some food. Can I keep the menu? All right,
what's
perfect.
Your name?
Thank you. There we
Sarah?
go. We're getting a menu for some food here. Well, it might take you up on that. Thank you. Might take you up on that. We're live on the air right now.
It's
so
okay.
that's all right.
Sarah,
That's all right.
Fun.
That's all right. We will take advantage of the menu.
When I was doing radio up in Idaho, my boss was like, "Hey, there's an opportunity for you to do a TV game on altitude." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, yeah, it'll be your first TV game, Johnny. And I'm all ready. I'm getting set for it. It's at the Kibbe Dome. It's Idaho versus somebody. Altitude Sportsnet.
Wow.
You know that network?
Oh yeah.
So I show up. They're like, "Well, we think we're going to let you have it. We're not sure." I show up and I see Tust, and I'd never met or seen Jay. And the guy basically told me, "Hey, sorry, man. The guy that we originally asked ended up coming through. We didn't know if he was going to be able to do it or not, but so he's here and he's ready to go."
You're kidding me. Jay
and I
Tust
looked and it was Tust, man. So my first thing, like shaking him, like, "You son of a," this was my big TV break, man. I was going to be the next Marv Albert, man.
He Wally pipped you.
He did, man. I almost Wally pipped him. It was a reverse almost.
Okay.
And Tust ends up showing up.
So Jay Tust would not be where he is today had he not gotten to do that game over you.
You know, at the time, Jay was doing TV at Clue, and then he would do a lot of other stuff. So, yeah, that helped him get the KTVB gig for sure. But, yeah, that's how I met Jay, and we've been buddies ever since.
Have you brought that up to him at all before?
Oh, yeah, he knows. He knows. And just like,
it doesn't surprise me either that they weren't sure Jay would do it or not.
Right.
He shows up on game day. I'll take it.
He's like, I'm not sure. Like,
I'll take it.
He's tough to get a hold of. Yes, dude. It's total Tustage.
An hour before the game,
and
he's
I'm
like, you know what? I'll
ready to
take
go.
it.
I want him. I've never done a TV game. Never. That would have been the only one I've ever done. Yeah.
Derek
Thanks,
says
Jay.
they can picture your call now on the Chibuzo with the 4-point play. Get off it.
Oh,
get off it.
Stevens runs into the lane. The runner, get off it, says Buzo. Look at the rejection.
I think next year BNN needs to pay whatever it costs to get to do one game. The streaming rights. We'll take it away. We'll take it away from the Mountain West Network. One game, we broadcast the game, and just get our whole crew. You could do sidelines, maybe in-game interview with the coaches.
That'd be huge, dude. Just do like Portnoy and Big Pat.
Yeah.
We'd be
mic up the coaches during the game. We have some fun with that.
You could probably swing the JD. You know you need that check too. You know you need that.
We might need a few more subscribers before we're ready for that.
That's a really good idea, though, man.
Yeah, I don't know if we can pull it off or not. But the crowd is filing in. It's going to be fun. We got a couple more minutes with Johnny before we got to let him go. Johnny, what'd you make of Omar Stanley? 23 points the other night against Washington State. That was big boy performance from Omar Stanley. He's got a chance, I think, as you see Utah Valley taking the court here. Omar Stanley, man, I think he showed that he's going to be one of the better big guys in the Mountain West, a huge addition from the portal.
I'm beginning to think that it's Omar Stanley 29 to 31 minutes, Cam Martin 21 to 23 minutes.
Yeah, because they did play together for a good.
I'm not sure where I am on those two. I really like Cam Martin's game. But Omar Stanley, it feels like, makes others play better, or at least he ups the enthusiasm level on the floor. That's contagious when you play. You know, a good coach once told me playing hard is a developed skill. It's like becoming a shooter. You have to learn how to play hard. And Omar Stanley knows how to play hard, and I think it's contagious.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a fan there of Omar Stanley, absolutely. Yeah. Worried about the one spot, though, BJ. We're seeing Whiting, I think, had 15 minutes last game. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to start to shrink. Jace Whiting, I was hoping he would get off to a better start than what he's done. He struggled. Jace Whiting.
He has, and I saw his dad sitting over there and talked to him at the airport the other day. I know he's working hard.
Great kid.
But I thought especially early in the game, I thought Roddy Anderson had some nice drives, got to the bucket. I mean, he's showing some flashes.
Absolutely. And I think Roddy just needs to learn, like, hey, dude, I know you got like these 27-year-olds on the team with like Max and stuff, and these guys feel like grown-ups. But when you're out there and you're the one, it's your offense. You know, you're the quarterback. You know, in high school football, if the sophomore of the team, if the quarterback is a sophomore, that sophomore in college still needs to get to the juniors and seniors and say, dude, I'm the boss. I'm the MFIC. Fill in that. And Roddy Anderson hasn't done that yet as the one. I think if he can grow and continue to get that psychological, like I'm the one. I'm running this show. Shaver had that last year.
Yeah.
They're missing that part of it. But yeah, as far as Roddy's game is concerned, I like a lot of the stuff that he does. I think it's just psychological with the kid right now, trying to not only fit in with these guys, but lead these guys. And that's what Leon wants him to do.
By the way, Jason said the BNN broadcast would be like the slime game on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it would be slimy.
We got to make that happen.
Jeff Baker in the house.
Yeah, we got to find a way to make that happen. Final thing, we'll get you out of here.
John Woostrow.
There you go. Idaho Press. John Woostrow.
Johnny Dubs. What do you think his
right.
nickname was in high school? John Woostrow.
I don't know.
Not John Woo. That was my nickname.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, J-Dub.
Did he look? I don't know if he looked the same with the beard and stuff in high school. I don't know. Final thing before we let you go here. We got 2 minutes. Any concern with the game tonight, or any matchup you're looking at, or player of the game, or what needs to happen tonight? Get Max Rice going from three again, or what?
God, it'd be nice to get Max going. What about RJ Keene? Can RJ Keene realize that, dude, I only get 14 minutes, so that means I only get up 4 or 5 shots. So that means like I really have to make them.
Yep.
Like I've heard Steve Kerr talk about that before. It might have been on The Last Dance. Kerr was saying, I'm playing on that Bulls team, the best team ever. I know I don't get to shoot more than 5 times in a game. So I better stinking hit 3 of them, or else they're going to find someone who can. And in RJ Keene, not that they're going to find someone who can. It's still way early for that, BJ.
Yeah.
But I think RJ Keene needs to realize, or Find his role. No,
I need the whole bench. I want to see more from Andrew Meadow tonight as well. Kobe Young, all these guys. We've heard a lot about this depth. Last game in particular, I think it didn't do much off the bench in the last game. So.
No, it's been inconsistent. Yeah, no question. That kind of bench, the Meadow, the Keene, the Whiting. I mean, it'd be nice if they could.
And again, as a reminder, you need 8 points for Tyson Degenhart to get 1,000, 14 for Max Rice to get 1,000. So, Johnny, appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on. We'll at 6:29, I'm going to let you jump out, get ready for this game. You want to take a look at the menu here for the courtside food. We'll let you do that. Maybe I'll buy you a hot dog tonight. We'll see.
Thanks, Uncle BJ.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Johnny. Take care, man. There he is, John Mallory. You can hear him 3 to 6 weekdays with Mike Prater, Bob Beeler, John Patrick, the whole crew on the Prater in the Ball Game on KTIK 95.3 The Ticket. We appreciate Johnny for coming on. We appreciate Abe Jackson for coming on. Jay Tust unable to make it. I know he's got a lot going on. He's broadcasting the game on KTVB. He's got a lot going on, so unable to get Jay on, but I totally appreciate it. We got somebody up in Section 28 saying hello. Where is Section 28? All right, where are you at? I know there's a little bit of a delay. Section 28, where are you at? Give me a wave or something. Where are you guys at up there? You're watching. You're saying hi from Section 28. I'm trying to give you a shout-out, but I don't see you guys up there. Where are you at? Where are you at? Come on, I'm looking at Section 28, wherever you're at there. Thanks for watching from Section 28. We appreciate you. And everybody else, we appreciate you guys for watching as well. We will have a full post-game show coming up as well. We're going to stay on for a couple more minutes here. We'll get Boise State taking the court here before we end this. But as a reminder, we'd love to have you subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Robbie Robinson is directly to my left. Where's Robbie? How close? Oh, there he is. What's up, man? How's it going? Appreciate you, man. There's Robbie right there. That was almost kind of scary. He's like literally 20 feet from me having some kettle corn. So appreciate you, Robbie. Thanks, man. We're doing shout-outs around the stadium, I guess, here. Abe Jackson forgot his press pass, so we'll be taking this to him here after this. But, again, hopefully you will subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have you $50 for a full year. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of basketball season. We need about 70 more of you. If you can help us out, $50. We'll be the only outlet that travels to San Jose next week. We were the only outlet in Spokane last week. We will be at every road game the rest of the season, and no other local outlets are traveling aside from obviously Bob Beeler and Abe Jackson on the radio side, KTIK. So if you're able to help us out, we'd love to have you help us out. $50 for a one-year subscription. And again, BroncoNationNews.com. Use the promo code BNN50DEAL. BNN50DEAL gets you $50 for a full year at BroncoNationNews.com. If you're watching this on Twitter and or Facebook, we ask you to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/BroncoNationNews. youtube.com/BroncoNationNews is the YouTube channel. We would love to have you on the YouTube channel, and that's where we're going to be focusing the broadcasts and the business model here moving forward is on the YouTube channel. So if you're able to help us out, $50, we'd love to have you. If you can't afford it, these shows are free of charge on social media, thanks to all of our great sponsors. So bvadev.com. If you're looking for a developer, looking for some new space, Idaho's developer is Tommy Alquist and bvadev.com. Ball Ventures Alquist. Go check out the new Topgolf. Go check out bvadev.com, and they'll be happy to help you out with all your development needs at bvadev.com. I already mentioned Taco Bell, but I do want to mention ICCU. I just deposited some money today, moved some money around on a check. It is so easy to put money into your account or move money with ICCU's eBranch mobile online banking. Check them out, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner. Highly recommend the folks at Idaho Central Credit Union, the Rains family. So we made the switch because we were signing up with them, but I would have done it. Now that I know about it, I should have done it long time ago. So easy to use. Love the experience with our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union. Make sure you check them out at ICCU.com. Also want to give a shout out to Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. He's watching from Mexico tonight. Matt, we're jealous you're in Mexico, but hopefully you're having fun on your vacation, and we appreciate you. Bauscher Real Estate, part of the Amherst Madison Real Estate Advisors. BauscherRealEstate.com for all your real estate needs. Check them out, Bauscher Real Estate. And no home is too big or too small. Let Matt and his team help you out at BauscherRealEstate.com. Bronco Brew Coffee. You're going to get some Bronco Brew Coffee? Go check them out. And again, we're waiting for the Broncos to take the floor here. We'll show you a little more of their pregame warm-ups. Bronco Brew Coffee. BroncoBrew.coffee is the website. You're helping Boise State Athletics with every sip part of the NIL game. You can put some money right into the pocket of some athletes at Boise State with the purchase of a bag of coffee at Bronco Brew Coffee, and you can set up for weekly subscriptions. And again, roasted to order coffee, not roasted till you order it and it's out the door and on the way to your house in 24 hours. You can get it shipped anywhere in the country. Check them out at broncobrew.coffee. Speaking of Cutwater, speaking of beverages, we're in the Cutwater mobile studios here. We appreciate you, Mr. Herrera, drinking a Cutwater lime margarita in my Uber on my way. I'm not sure I recommend that part of it in the Uber, but at least you're enjoying the Cutwater lime margarita. We appreciate you. That's one of my favorite flavors. Had the pineapple margarita recently. That's a one that I highly recommend as well. So big shout out, props, thanks to Cutwater Studios, Cutwater Spirits, and Stein Distributing. Again, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. The Blue and Orange Store, Travis Hawks and Company. You now see the Broncos on the court, taking some shots. We are 25 minutes until tip-off on this one, Boise State and Utah Valley. And again, thank you to the Blue and Orange Store. If you're looking for some last-minute deals for the new year, they got the championship gear. They got the bowl game gear. Go check it out, the Blue and Orange Store there at the Boise Town Square Mall. You can check it out online at theblueandorangestore.com. Great deals. They got the flash sales, the daily specials. Check them out. Big supporter of Bronco Nation News, and we're super appreciative and thankful for Travis Hawks and Company. So if you're able to support the Blue and Orange Store, it's an amazing store. If you haven't been there, it's right next to the Pro Image at the mall. So next time you're looking to go buy some Boise State gear, look no further than the Blue and Orange Store and the blueandorangestore.com. You see the Broncos on the court warming up. The crowd starting to file in. Should be a fun one here at Bronco Nation News, our pregame show. And, again, we'll be back on the postgame show as well. A full postgame show, interviews with Coach Rice, interviews with some players. We'll have some highlights, analysis. Nowhere to be tonight, so we'll keep it going as long as you want to on a Friday night talking Boise State basketball. Again, Utah Valley comes in at 6-6. The Broncos trying to get to 9-4 as they wrap up non-conference play. And then they have the first bye. Everybody else starts conference play early next week. Boise State has the bye week, and they'll open up conference play Friday night at San Jose State. Before the big one against Colorado State at ExtraMile Arena coming up here in the near future. By the way, thanks to Ridley's Family Markets. Love that Cuno location. Always check that out down there on Eagle Road. Next time you're looking for a local hometown grocer, got the one up in McCall, got them all across Idaho, 13 across the state of Idaho to be exact. Check them out. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. We appreciate Mark Ridley and company. They're in Florida tonight watching, so we shout out to them. Appreciate the Ridleys. And, again, hometown grocer. Appreciate them, and they're big supporters of Boise State Athletics. So check them out, Ridley's Family Markets, and we appreciate Mark Ridley and company. Going to go ahead and jump off the show here. We got to be off before 15 minutes to tip due to the Mountain West regulations and rules, and I cut it kind of close a couple games ago. So appreciate everybody for coming on, checking us out. Thank you. Please tell your friends, and we'll see you down here at ExtraMile Arena. Tip-off in about 20 minutes. Again, it's on KTVB. Jay Tust is on the call with Brian King. You can also listen on the radio side, Bob Beeler and Abe Jackson, and that'll be on 670 KBOI. And, again, on the TV side, it's KTVB. It's also the Mountain West Network. TheMW.com is the website as well. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Go subscribe if you can. Help us out. BroncoNationNews.com. BNN50 deal is that promo code. BNN50 deal gets you a full year of exclusive coverage, Mike Prater columns, etc. for $50. So thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Lithia Florida Boise pregame show from the Cutwater Studios. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. And for all of our great sponsors, support the sponsors. Go subscribe. Enjoy the game tonight. And we will talk to you on the postgame show about 45 minutes after the game ends. We'll give you time to get home, get the kids to bed. We'll do our interviews, get the highlights queued up, and then we'll be on about 9:30 to 9:45 on the postgame show after the game ends around 9. And we'll have full coverage, Boise State, Utah Valley on the postgame shows. We put a bow on non-conference play, put a bow on 2023, and get you set for conference play starting next week against San Jose State. Enjoy the game, everybody. We appreciate you for checking us out again. Thanks to Jaden Finch, our intern. Thanks to John Mallory for coming on. Thanks to Abe Jackson for coming on. My name is BJ Rains. We appreciate you. Enjoy the game, Boise State and Utah Valley. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.